a tremendous amount that I learned doing stand-up has gone into the books. Tremendous amount. When you walk on stage to do a 20-minute stand-up set, you've got about 30 seconds to get that first laugh, or you're in trouble. You know, they will start throwing stuff. And similarly with a book, you've not got long to engage a reader. Well, you shouldn't have. You know, I will give a book 20, 30 pages, any book, I don't care what it is. And if I'm not enjoying that book, I'm going to put it down and pick up another one. There are too many good books out there. I think there are two sorts of readers in the world. There are readers like me, who do that. Readers like my wife, for example, I will say to her, are you enjoying that book? She'll say no. I say, why are you reading? Why have you been reading it for the last 3 weeks? Because it's not going to beat me. And you know, like it's a war of attrition. It's this bizarre 19th century notion that reading has to be a struggle. You know, that it has to be good for you and you're going to bloody well struggle through it. And I'm just not like that, and I wouldn't expect anybody reading one of my books to be like that. So it taught me about trying to engage the reader. That doesn't necessarily mean mean a body or a fantastic hook. It can just be the voice of that character, something. You have to engage that reader quickly. It also taught me that crime fiction is full of punchlines. Crime fiction is all about timing. It's all about when you reveal key pieces of information. The best example I can give you in the whole of crime fiction is in The Silence of the Lambs. And even if you haven't read the book, I'm sure most people have seen the film. There's a bit towards the end of that film, and in the book, where the SWAT team are descending on the killer's house. They know who the killer is, they've got him, they're going to his house, and the SWAT team are creeping up to his house. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Agent Clarice Starling, Jodie Foster, is just tying up a few loose ends. They've given us some little dead-end job to do. The SWAT team ring the killer's bell, and you cut, as you do in the book, to the killer's evil dungeon where the girl's being held, and the killer hears the doorbell. So you, as the reader and the viewer, when you see the film, buy the dummy. You completely fall for it. And you follow the killer up his beastly staircase, and the butterflies are flapping around his head, and he opens the door, and it's Jodie Foster. It's Clarice Starling. And you turn the page and you go, you literally go, oh my God, the SWAT team have got the wrong house. Jodie Foster's the one at the right house. It's the most brilliant punchline. It absolutely knocks you back in your chair. It's a punchline, it's just a very dark, scary punchline. And crime fiction is full of those key moments when you reveal a piece of information. No, I don't think so. I mean, again, it's a question you get asked a lot, is where do you get those twisted ideas from? Exactly the same place you get them from. You know, we all have dark, twisted things, and we're all capable of murder. We are all capable of murder. And that's what's increasingly fascinated me over a dozen or so years I've been writing. I'm not really interested, as I was with this book, in patterned serial killers. I'm not interested in these people that kill because the moon is full. I'm interested in people who are in the wrong place at the wrong time, or good people who snap. Just good people who snap, in the same way that any one of us could. I became obsessed with this story a couple of years ago about this Swiss air traffic controller. There was a hideous air crash in Russia, and this Russian guy lost his family, lost his whole family. And they did an investigation, and the Swiss air traffic controller was blamed, was given official responsibility for this air crash. And this Russian guy who'd lost his family spent years tracking this guy down. And he tracked him down, and he went to his house in Switzerland, and he stood on his doorstep with a photo of his family, and he rang the guy's doorbell, and the Swiss air traffic controller opened the door, and the guy held the photo up, and he knocked the photo out of the guy's hand, and the guy just snapped and pushed the guy into his house and grabbed the knife and stabbed him dead, and went to prison, as he should have done. When he came out, they held a parade for him in this village in Russia he came from, and he was a perfectly good man who just said, when he knocked that photo out of my hand, it was like he killed my family again, and he snapped. And that fascinates me far more than serial killers who were locked in a cellar when they were a kid or whatever. And I think we're all capable of something like that, usually involving people harming our children or whatever it might be. I think anybody's capable of doing very dark things, and that's fascinating to write about. Yeah, she's not. Yeah. It's a weird thing, because writing a book doesn't happen when you're sitting at a typewriter or a computer. I mean, that's when you get it down on the screen. It's happening when you're pushing a trolley around the supermarket or sitting in the car picking the kids up from school. It's in your head all the time, and you're trying to solve whatever problem it might be. You know, it could be a completely prosaic problem of, oh God, if they got the DNA evidence on Wednesday, how did they? And you're trying to work that out, or it's something deeper, or you're trying to think of a thing. You know, And that's what your other half has to live with for a year, is that thing of talking to you and then just going, oh, what's the point? You're just not listening to me. It's funny, I think there was an article in the Telegraph the day before yesterday about writers' spouses, and they pretty much all say the same thing. And it's just going off into another world, and that's the joy of it, is that I can play with, it's like playing with dolls or something. I can just sit about and make stuff up. It's making stuff up, is what it is. My pet hate is writers who talk about writing as if it's something mystical. I just really have a problem with that. I was doing an event, I was at a festival with a very famous writer who was talking about a hugely best-selling book, and it was the where'd you get your ideas from question. And a lot of writers go, oh, the where'd you get your ideas? But it was a paying audience, they got right to ask anything they like. Where'd you get your ideas from? And she said, oh, I don't even know what an idea is. I have no concept of what an idea is. I just heard the character's voice and I channeled her voice. I just wanted to throw up. That's just nonsense. You sit down and you make stuff up. Who's doing the typing, for heaven's sake? I mean, really, it's like writer's block. It's another one of these complete myths. Unless somebody's broken your fingers, there is nothing stopping you writing. It won't be good. It won't be good every day. But why is it just writers who get it? Plumbers don't get plumber's block. No, I can't come and fix your toilet, I've got plumber's block. It's just utter nonsense. Writers who talk in these kind of mystical terms, let genius and muses, all you like. The rest of us just sit down and go to work.